and welcome back to GFF and Friends, the podcast. The podcast for I don't know what, because I could not think of anything to start the podcast with.
Well, that's easy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Gay Fat Friend, a.k.a. Todd. And joining me, as always, is my teeny tiny, adorable, his red hat says pizza, my husband, Rob. Hi.
Yeah. For those, not on the visual medium, I am wearing a hat that at first glance is upsetting because it's red.
Yeah.
But it is a dusty red. And
corduroy.
And it has the word pizza written across it in cursive.
Yeah, so don't get it twisted, although it is kind of impossible to wear a red hat nowadays.
Yeah, and I have actually realized that while I'm driving, don't wear the hat.
Yeah, don't wear the red pizza hat.
You can't see the detail, and from the side, I might be
terrible.
A monster.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
'Tis but a red hat in
worst.
peripheral. It is funny. I don't know. We talked about this, but I don't know if anyone else has heard, but I think Ferrari changed the color of their team color so they don't have to wear red hats anymore. That's pretty awesome.
Good for them.
Yeah, thanks, Ferrari.
Right.
I saw people being mad just simply because they liked the red Ferrari hats and now they're gray, I guess.
The Italians recognize fascism when they see it and are going to step away.
Yeah, they nip it in the bud. Or they also elect it because they elected a literal fascist.
Well, at least brands are hopefully smart enough to step away.
Yeah, it's a give and take. It's a push and pull.
Yeah.
Highs and lows, peaks and valleys.
It's all a rich tapestry.
Yeah. Also, need to address the elephant in the monkey. We missed an episode last week. We weren't even here.
Where'd it go?
And no one checked on us. Literally not a single person was like, hey, where's the episode this week? Thanks, guys. What if we were dead? What if we needed help? Not a single person was like, hey, where's this week's episode? Wow. Way to make a guy feel pretty. This might be the last episode of this podcast.
Although I will say I meant to, if we had recorded last week, go out of my way to say thank you to listener and friend Bill for sending me that Dove's Record Store Day release from the UK. Super appreciated. Arrived in wonderful condition.
Yeah, that was very friendly and a lot of work for someone to do for you.
So cool, and is happy with the rest of the Doves family on the shelf.
Yeah, it's so funny. I literally looking at Doves on the record shelf right now. Yeah. That's crazy. Right next to Dua Lipa.
They're good friends.
Yeah, but the reason we missed an episode is because Rob's mom was in town.
Yeah.
Kind of a little post Mother's Day, scheduled visit. And yeah, it's really, Rob's mom is kind of one of the best house guests because she came for a really short visit. It was 3 nights.
Yeah.
She can keep to herself if need be. She'll take a nap, she'll read, she'll look at her phone. Like, you don't have to entertain her 24/7. She doesn't need to be entertained. She's like, I'm cool with whatever.
Yeah. Like, she doesn't want to be a tourist. Like, she's just
and we've done all the tourist things with her. We went to Chihuly over Christmas.
Yeah. She came to see us and Ruby.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
That's all she wanted to do.
Yeah. So we got to hang out. We did some nice meals. And yeah, I mean, I may have told the story before, but, maybe people don't listen to every episode. A little bit ago when my mom came to visit, like, I was working that day, I work from home, and but I was finally done, and I came out and sat on the couch next to her, and she was just like reading her Kindle, and I sat next to her and just looked at my phone for like 45 minutes in silence, and all of a sudden I looked at her, I was like, oh my god, you are literally here from 2 states away, and I've just been sitting here next to you ignoring you for 45 minutes, and she goes, oh my god, it's just so nice to have you here, and this is just nice and quiet, and I don't mind, like, this is great. Like, honestly, I think my mom just likes to get away from the hustle and bustle of her day-to-day. And she loves Seattle and the weather here and stuff. So, like, you park her next to a window with a gray sky, and she's like, I'll just grab my book. Yeah. Like, it's very nice.
Got a break from the grandkids.
Yeah, which, I mean, she loves them dearly, but also everyone needs a break sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, we discovered some new restaurants. We discovered some new brunch places, which, breakfast is my favorite meal.
And they are, like, criminally close to home, then we just overlooked them.
Yeah, criminally close and in a beautiful location.
With literally like a view.
On a dock.
Yeah.
All you see are boats and water. The food is delicious.
I mean, it's very much like a commercial plot of water. Like,
yeah.
So not a lot of natural beauty.
It's a commercial marina, but there's still fun boats and water.
Oh, yeah. Boats and water. It's still very cool.
You can always see mountains in Seattle.
I mean, it's
I don't think there's a
nice.
window that exists that doesn't see mountains in
Right?
Seattle.
It's not like we're looking at like the Long Beach factories.
Yeah,
you know,
not looking at smokestacks at the nuclear plant in Santa Anita.
Not a foundry somewhere.
Yeah. But also, no wait. The restaurant was very not busy because it is kind of tucked away, which is nice for us as a consumer, but bad for the restaurant. I hope they don't, we just discovered them. I hope they don't go out of business.
We have the worst luck at finding these places that are like these little just kind of, hidden gems. And they're hidden to the point where they are not found.
Yeah.
To the point where we found them.
Yeah.
We were lucky. And then they close.
Yeah.
And even just literally in the same complex, there was a pub that we used to go to, or a public house kind of, just good.
I think people know what pub is.
But I mean, I say pub and I think bar. Public house feels more like restaurant that has a bar.
No, all pubs legally have to have food.
I guess, but yeah, I'm just thinking
In
bar. But yeah, anyway,
Europe.
it was just a really good kind of casual dining place, and it was really nice, and we liked going there. And we went there semi-frequently.
Yeah, it was a bummer to find out it went out of business.
Yeah, and last time we went there, I was like, hold on, that place looks dark, and so
and the sign was different.
and so I went and I just ran over really fast, and they had paper on all their windows and doors, and there will be a new establishment coming there, so that's exciting. But
Yeah.
we are sad to see the old one go.
The owner was really cool. I mean, I'm assuming he was the owner. He was there every minute of every day. I'd never gone to that place and he wasn't there.
Yeah.
But so bummed for him that it went out of business unless it was by choice. And a new restaurant is moving in shortly. So and yeah, it's funny because we go to that place all the time around the corner from this new place that we discovered that we didn't even know was there simply because of a corner, because
Right.
we did not turn a corner.
Right. We have places to be. Well, usually we're eyes forward.
Yeah. If you don't have a giant sign and we're not laser focused, we're not going to see you.
Right.
And behind that place is another breakfast place. There's 2 breakfast places back there.
Yeah.
The other place was bussin'. It was busy. And it's the kind of breakfast place that has coffee mugs on the tables when you walk in. That's a
Handwritten
delight.
signs everywhere about what credit cards they do and do not take.
Yes, what times drinks are available, what drinks are special. Yeah, there was
a lot of handwritten signs.
a lot of handwritten signs and dry erase boards everywhere. But
Yeah.
you know what? That shows that they care.
No, that is frankly a certain type of service and a certain type of establishment, and that very much is the kind of things that hits the spot. That feels like a Denny's from the 80s.
Yeah, and you got to do one of your all-time favorite things in real time, which was correct someone's grammar
Oh, yeah.
on one of the signs.
Yeah, I forgot what it was.
We went in just to look at a menu and ask about their hours, even though no one ever spoke to us. So we
Yeah.
just turned around and left.
But we, context clues, we were okay.
Yeah, but there was a dry erase board right next to the host check-in, and they had pluralized something with an apostrophe.
It might have been mimosas or something.
I think it was mimosas.
Yeah,
and it was apostrophe S.
And so, it's a dry erase board. So, yeah, you give an extra little bit of punctuation that you don't need.
Yeah.
I can literally just fix that with a little flick of my finger.
You rode that high for the rest of the day.
Oh, it felt so good. It feels so good to just do a public good and then just walk away. Just
Yeah.
Homer Simpson into the bushes. But at least I will sing my praises to you because, someone has to know.
Yeah. Also, I think we've talked about this before, and I talk about it all the time with other people, but what is this weird mandala effect where we all think an apostrophe pluralizes something? Why? I know I did it for a long time when I would write a Christmas card. I'd say can I finish?
Well, first off, I just want to correct you because that's the Mandela effect.
What did I say?
Mandala.
Oh,
One's I'm
from St. Louis.
One's a piece of art and one is Nelson Mandela.
No one actually knows. That's another Mandela effect. It has nothing to do with Nelson Mandela.
Got it. Really?
Yeah, no one knows. I've seen several TikToks about it. Because some people are like, no, it's the Mandela effect about the art. And they're like, no.
I heard it was the Mandela effect because no one could decide if he was dead or not. And it was
It
a
has
thing.
nothing to do with Nelson Mandela.
Oh, I thought it did.
Anyway,
sorry.
When I do a Christmas card and stuff, I always address it to the Mastersons, and I would always do an apostrophe S. And I know, obviously, several people do that. It's all everywhere you look. People put an apostrophe to pluralize. Where did that come from? Why do we do that?
It's because it looks weird to people. That's
To
why.
just put an S?
If your last name is Jones, it feels weird to say from the Joneses, and because that's how you say it.
Yeah.
But it's weird to suddenly have to write your name Joneses. That is weird. I get it, but also, if you're if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, plural, just that's how it is.
Well, also, I think it might come from a possessive that people just drop the extra word, which is the Masterson's house. Because
Totally, yeah. And
this is
that'd be
addressed to
fair.
the Masterson's house. We just dropped the house, and everybody just says Masterson's.
But yeah, but like when you're like, Merry Christmas from the Joneses, and it's just like,
Well, that's a completely different thing.
but yeah, it's like, it drives me nuts when people pluralize stuff incorrectly. But like, and the joking thing I always kind of say is, like, you're not using that many contractions probably, or if you are, you're probably using them wrong, if you don't know how to pluralize something correctly. So it's one of those things where, like, at least I'm kind of curious what the math would be. Just like, if you are somebody who adds an apostrophe to pluralize things, if you just never use an apostrophe ever again,
You're more likely to be correct.
I think your chances of being correct are going to go up, because I don't think anyone uses that many possessives nor contractions to offset fucking up every plural.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assume that if you just pretend the apostrophe key is gone off your keyboard and you don't know what to do, just pretend it's not there.
Well, also, I do hate how, like, there are two instances of something can end in an S and you use an apostrophe and that's it. And then other times it ends in an S and you have to add an E and an S. But, like, both instances can be true in certain places.
No. Well,
Like, if your last name is Voss, you could say the Vosses, Vosses.
yes.
Right? But
Yes.
then you could also Voss apostrophe, which would be possessive.
There's two, but the thing is, there's two possessives. That's where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
So your last name is Voss. You could have Voss apostrophe S, which is correct.
The Voss's house.
Not how I do it.
Yeah.
Or you can do Voss apostrophe.
Yeah.
No extra S. But yeah, like, you never had to add an E on that one. That's
Yeah.
always just apostrophe S or apostrophe the end.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a person who loves to just have a dangling apostrophe there. That's my style
The
choice.
Voss house.
Yes. Like, and you would still say the Vosses. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to the Vosses. Like, house. But like, yeah, kind of a thing that belongs to, yeah. Anyway, so minor grammar thing. Oh, another little just correction, because I'm being a total like stickler right now. I'm pretty sure in past episodes, and I know very frequently, I always default to saying Sweden when I'm talking about Lego, and that's wrong. I know that, and I can never remember that it is Denmark.
And so many, not a single person cared.
But also, it's just one of those things of like, hey, I know when I listen to a podcast and somebody is just like loudly wrong, it's infuriating.
So Legos are made in Denmark.
Yeah.
Not in Sweden.
They're a Danish company.
They're Danes.
Yes.
Goddamn Danes.
Goddamn Danes.
Which is from a TV show.
To a TV show. We do not feel that way about the Danish.
Well, speaking of Lego, we've kind of gone ham on Lego because when Rob's... Yes, we live together. How dare you?
All right. I forgot where it's going here.
When Rob's mom was here, because Rob's mom follows me on all socials, and so she knows I'm obsessed with Lego, and she watches all my Lego content. She was like, I want to go to the Lego store and I want to do Lego with you guys. And I was like, I'm on board. And one of the treasures of having a parent is usually when you go shopping, they pick up the tab.
Their treat.
Yeah. So, and the funny thing too was, obviously we would never ask or even assume.
No.
But Rob's mom was like, I want to buy you a set too, so just go pick out a set. And I was like, really? And she was like, oh yeah, please, I want to buy you a set. I was like, okay, thanks, Mom.
Yeah. We joked around about the Titanic set, but we did not.
Yeah,
we did not do that. Well, and she even said, she's like, oh, I don't want to spend that much. But I do want to spend... Still, the amount she said was way more than I thought.
I could have gotten a bigger set, but I was like, that makes me uncomfortable.
Let's not be weird.
Yeah,
like,
I don't need that big of a set right now.
You got a killer set out of it.
Yeah.
Well, and
I got Mario.
We did that.
Mario Kart.
So we get the free Space Baby.
Space Baby, which I now have 3 Space Babies. We have triplets.
My mom wanted to take on her first Lego kit.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to figure out the right level of commitment and detail.
Ability.
Yeah. Like, just as a newcomer to Lego, especially somebody, who maybe isn't as familiar with all of the different brick styles. Like, I was helping her out, and occasionally there was a lot of, like, brick lookalikes that were kind of sneaking their way into the build. And so it's one of those things, if you guys got to work together a little bit, But
Wait, did you say what we got her?
No. So we ended up going
with Brickheads, which are the Lego version of Funko Pops.
Yeah.
And... they recently released a 5-pack of Star Wars villains and heroes or whatever.
Yeah.
So we got the 5-pack of Brickheads so she could take the rest home to the grandkids and do those with them now that she knows how to do them.
Yeah, she did Mace Windu, which she apparently, like, and totally a thing, growing up, she always used to, like, purposely, I think, say the names of the stuff I was into wrong because it made me laugh. And, like, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The name of something that had too many words for her to keep straight. So she always just kind of added words and just kind of made it funny.
Yeah.
Apparently, for her grandkids.
Wait, what did she call turtles?
She always
Finish the story.
It literally got shaken up every single time she said it.
Oh.
Often the word banana found its way in there, but like, but it was usually just kind of like whatever word she could drum up to just be like this. It's a huge amount of words, turtles, but like
classic your mom.
She refers to Mace Windu as Major Woo Woo, and apparently it just tickles the grandkids. So that's the figure that she built here, so she could bring back Major Woo Woo with her.
Yeah.
And I did Emperor Palpatine, or as me and my best friend refer to him, Granny, or Grandma, because
Because why?
Battlefront, like he just Grandma. He's like he's got like little fingers, like he's coming at you like a weird granny.
Your brain is fascinating.
Well, he looks like an old woman.
But yeah, it was fun. There was a lot of from Rob's mom. Wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I don't think I have that piece.
And I don't think, honestly, like Sans doing Duplo, which are the big Legos for special kids. I don't
or just
think
young kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think we could have picked a simpler set. So even with that, there was a bunch of I don't have this piece. Wait a minute. Oh no, wrong color. Oh no, wait a minute.
I feel like everyone's first Lego set, you do want to make an assumption that like there's an error in the bag. You just didn't get the piece. Like there's a lot of that of just like, and on your umpteenth one, like to honestly have a missing piece would be remarkable because it's just hidden somewhere. It's underneath something. It's behind something. Like it's there, usually. And so there's a lot of that. I think like first time jitters of just like, hold on, I don't think that piece is here. It's
well, and the funniest thing too was, after we did them in private, we were like, oh, those other sets are not going to get built properly. Like it was just kind of one of those things. You're like, okay, let go, let God, out of my hands.
They'll have their fun.
It's very hard for me to deal with like. I'm not saying that your mom would disrespect Lego, but like, poorly built Lego that's built wrong. I have a very strict process and respect for the brick. And, but yeah, I just had to let it go and be like, you know what? Those are probably never going to get built, or they're going to get built wrong.
It is funny. If you look at the two grandkids though, the older one is very much the type to kind of be a little bit flighty and probably never finish anything. Mm-hmm. While the younger one is honestly so type A and bossy.
Until she gets frustrated.
But I could see her being the reason why that stuff gets made.
Yeah.
Correctly. Like, she will supervise.
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, I'll be there in a month, or I guess 6 weeks, so.
Well, and we'll see if she gets the itch, too, because we got her own Stitch brickhead.
Yeah, we got her Stitch from Lulu and Stitch.
As well, just because she loves
And yeah, I
Stitch.
think brickheads are the most basic thing you can build, so I think that's a good entry point into the Lego system.
Yeah, we're not, like, nothing that has, like, huge animation elements. Like, honestly, the Mario and Yoshi set that I did was very, very cool, but, like, there's one step that is very poorly defined in the book.
Yeah.
And it is a set that is old enough that it does not have the interactive CAD version on the app that you can like rotate and play with. And so I built this thing and all of a sudden it was just like the movement wasn't working. And I had to Google it. And luckily there was a thing that popped up in like Reddit of somebody being like, I found the animation issue in Mario and Yoshi. Like step number blank is very confusing. You're probably off by one nub. And luckily I was able to fix it. That was right. It was just this one thing, but I'm glad that somebody else had posted about it because otherwise I would have had no idea which of the, 2 booklets or whatever.
Especially for a Technic set. Like, you need to be very precise on the Technic sets because they move.
I was almost afraid to do the Mario block because that thing just folds into itself so closely. And that thing was actually really, really easy.
Yeah.
Compared to, like, Mario and Yoshi was the more stressful one.
Yeah.
Also, it's so like narrow and tall. Like as you build it, you're just kind of like, I feel like I'm going to break this thing, but it's actually very solid. But it just feels very. I've never done a set so vertical and thin.
That's what she said. Speaking of stressful, yesterday I had a full mental breakdown about lawn care because I think we've talked about it before, but the grass around our house is very annoying to cut. It's not really hard. I mean, it sucks that it never stops growing. I wish there was a way to just freeze grass in time so it's still like short and green and not dead, but never grows again. I hate it. I mean, I guess that's called turf.
Yeah. Or winter.
Yeah. But it's so much of a process and we have to do it every 10 days, every 15 days. And I just hate it so much. And yesterday it got to me where I had this like extreme sense of dread and not wanting to do it at all. Luckily Rob helped with the backyard because it's all different levels. It's all awkward. Our lawnmower weighs 1,000,000 pounds. It's a push mower. It has to be done by push mower. It's just very weird and aggressive. The mower kind of sucks. It runs out of gas a lot, or I should say it has a tiny gas tank.
Goes through spark plugs like
nobody's business.
Right? It's crazy.
And it's just so much work, and it's so frustrating. It's a lot of hills for no reason. And then you also have to go through after you cut everything, which takes forever. And then you have to weed whack the edges with my weed trimmer, And so it's so much work. It's so gross and stinky. And especially after you weed trim, that thing flings grass everywhere. Rob's like, why don't you wear pants? And I was like, I don't want to ruin any of my pants. It's all grass
never
stains.
worn shorts during weed whacking, and just is always like, man, stuff's hitting my legs all the time. I'm like, you're supposed to wear long pants when you.
I don't have work jeans that I want to gross up. I mean, I guess I could. I have several pairs of pants I could turn into weed whacking pants.
But it's funny, at the end of it all, I literally said, I was like, no one made us do the lawn today. No one did.
Yeah.
No one cares except for us, really. Our neighbors have commented that our lawn is better maintained than previous tenants have ever had it. But that's a nice point of pride. But also seriously, there was no gun to our heads.
Yeah. Well, also we live in a neighborhood of people that just pay gardeners to do their lawn, so everybody has a pretty lawn because they paid for it. It's not like they're doing it themselves.
And we also live in a neighborhood full of old people,
who
probably can't do that.
We have the most grass of the entire block, and also it's just annoying. Like I said, it's hills, it's valleys, it's rocks.
The fact that
you can't just mow it, you have to do so much work.
Well, the fact that it's 3 separate plots of grass, and they are all at different heights, and 2 of them you do have to literally, it's a 2-person job, you have to lift the mower roughly 3.5 feet high over a wall for one of them,
which is almost as tall as you.
It's extremely hard. I have to lift it basically pretty much to chest level. And then the other one we have to go up 4 stairs.
Yeah.
So it's we're literally carrying a mower twice to and fro, which is annoying.
Well, and it's the thing, I experience this now with my hair too, because now that I shave my head to the skin, I have to do it so much more frequently. Excuse me. Because if I let it grow even an extra day, then it becomes too long for my trimmer. And so I have to do extra work to get my little head shaver to work because it can't handle the stress of all that extra. Same with our stupid lawnmower. If the grass is even 1 inch too long, the lawnmower is I'm not cutting that. And then it's so much work.
Well, growing up, our mower was it was the situation where if the lawn got too long, you couldn't use the mulcher. You had to actually catch the grass in the bag. Yeah. And it was this thing of great, now we're emptying the bag every strip of the lawn because it's so full so quickly. But I'm glad we don't catch the grass. But
so literally that was my first world problem of the day, but it just really got to me. I had a full mental breakdown.
Well, I mean, there was other stuff yesterday that kind of annoyed you too, but still it was
well, that was the thing too. A lot of, Nazis
stuff
in the world, a lot of politics, a lot of bad people out there. So it was all kind of lining up of I'm seeing all this terrible stuff happening in the world that I can't fix or control. And then I have to do all this goddamn manual labor outside that I don't want to do. I simply do not want to do it. It makes me angry.
Which it is funny because most of the time, at least when I get upset about the state of the world and I start deciding to assert control over the few things that I can and become a tyrant about dishes in the sink or something, at least I do feel good when I accomplish it.
Oh, I felt so good. I slept like a baby last night. I felt so good. Especially, that was the thing too, afterwards, I'm just so gross, covered in sunscreen and bits of grass and dirt, and I smell, and I'm I had to take a shower, and I was just so frustrated that I was I just need to take a shower. But even doing that extra bit of work, I was just I don't want to do it. But once I took a shower and I was clean and I could put on some perfume and smell nice, then I was in heaven.
Meanwhile, I was fresh as a daisy.
It's because you never smell. Even when you work outside, you don't smell. It's annoying.
Sorry.
It's okay. But then it's kind of happening today too. I'm not having a mental breakdown right now, but time is just moving so fast. That was the thing too. I had so many plans for yesterday, but grass ended up taking up so much of the day, and then taking a shower and getting ready, and it's dinner time. And I was oh, I wanted this to be over at 1 o'clock, and now it's 4:30. God damn it.
Sorry.
No, again, not your fault, but I do blame you. And it's same thing, like I said, happening today. in my head, I was like, okay, we'll do the podcast at 10 a.m. And now it's what time is it? It's almost 2.
10 a.m. That's a little goofy.
Just trying to get stuff. I feel like the day is just going by so fast.
Yeah, well, and I thought I was going to be okay today, but, I had to do my usual Sunday record store run just because I was feeling the itch.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Retail therapy is the best therapy.
Well, and frankly, it is a thing where, like, as much as I want to be like, I don't have to go to a record store every week. I know what came out this week, and I don't need anything new. Our record stores have really good used sections, and those get updated a lot. And a lot of those,
I'll find something.
which it is funny because, like, I literally found a record that I just added to my wish list on Discogs, and I was going to start looking for a copy of it, and I literally found a perfect copy at a store that I want to support anyway. Like, woo.
Also, I believe this motivational dread is a side effect of my GLP-1 or my tirzepatide injections, my Zepbound. It is a kind of a known side effect. I've talked to a doctor about it, and other people. They're like, yeah, sometimes I just don't want to do anything.
I mean, I think that's also just a part of life. Like, I feel like
pushing 45, folks.
People go through those ways of like, I'm sick of deciding what I want to eat for dinner every day. That is a stupid thing. Every day we have to decide this.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people are just getting fed up, and it's okay. It comes and goes in waves.
Well, it's like yesterday you were trying to comfort me, and I said, you were like, well, we could go to this. I was like, I don't want plans. I don't want a schedule. I don't want to do anything. Please stop asking me.
Which is funny because that's usually my line.
Yeah. But you were like, well, we could go do this in an hour. And then I was like, I don't want a schedule. Stop putting a schedule on me. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here and stare at the ceiling. And I did. And I got over it. And then we went to Home Goods and we bought a toilet brush cleaner holder as a vase, and it looks perfect.
And like, I will toot my own horn here. I am the king of the unconventional materials challenge.
You are.
I'm not gonna make clothes out of anything, but
I have a Lego botanical flower set that I needed a vase for, and I had a very specific image in my head of I wanted like a matte finish white vase. And we're walking around Home Goods, and I couldn't really find everything. Was like
glassware.
Everything was glass or like really shiny porcelain, and I was like, no, I want a matte white pottery kind of vase. And then we get into the bathroom section,
and he finds like a toothbrush holder, and he's like, this would be perfect, except
it's too short.
And all of a sudden I'm like I immediately thought to myself, I was like, where are the toilet brush holders? And then I was like, nah, it's not gonna work. And we see some big ones, and I was like, no, those are way too big. And we saw like a really small, matte white cylindrical toilet brush in a holder, and it's going to be perfect, I think. It looks
like a very small roll of paper towels, and it's just white and matte finished and beautiful. And you take the toilet brush out of it, and it literally is just a vase. Yeah. And it looks great, and it's going to look beautiful with Lego flowers in it.
We're also the family that uses a Le Creuset crock for
utensil crock.
I was like, what's that word? Utensil crock as a umbrella holder.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's you just got to get creative.
Make it work.
Right.
Shabby chic. All right. Well, I think having talked about all that fun stuff, my mental breakdown about cutting grass, it's time to move on to our final segment, which is What's Your Order? What's Your Order? The series, the segment, I should say, where we now pick icebreakers out of a hat to talk about, because it used to be restaurants, but we went through every restaurant.
Well, and as we're running out of ideas here, I'm thinking we're gonna have to start going to absurd questions, like if you could be a color, what would you taste like? Kind of like what,
which Greek god would you be? All right. Rob, you choose. Julia Roberts. All right, what's today's corporate icebreaker?
Ooh, what is the best prank you've experienced or planned?
None.
Right?
Absolutely zero, because I hate pranks. I hate pranks more than anything on the planet. But I will laugh at pranks if I see them on TikTok. But I fucking hate pranks. I think they are so the invasion of privacy and trust. They're such trust breakers. I think it's because I have 2 older brothers who tortured me with pranks growing up that I just hate being taken advantage of, being laughed at without my control. I became a comedian because I love being laughed at, but that's my decision. Don't laugh at me when I don't know, No,
and it's funny because I feel like this is the thing that, not to sound super, emotional and stuff, but like I've been like leaning into the phrase of sort of consent a lot more, of just like of when I'm down for something or not. And it doesn't have to be entirely in a a sexual context. It just is largely just like, if I don't want to have this interaction, I need you to stop.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to back off. And like, I've had it with family recently. I've had it with you sometimes. Like, it's just one of those things of like, I'm trying to assert my boundaries better. And pranks are hard because
I don't like them.
yet very rarely are all parties in for it. Like, it's just a thing where like someone's having fun and another person unfortunately is surprised about it. And like, it takes a very special prank to be able to just sort of laugh it off without feeling kind of personally attacked in some way.
I also really hate fake pranks, which is a lot of couples on TikTok where they're like, I'm going to prank my husband. And it's like the husband wrote the prank. Like, it's not a surprise. You're terrible actors.
You have 9 angles set up for this.
You're terrible actors.
Yeah.
How did you catch this on camera?
Yeah, like, so yeah, frankly, I'm kind of with you. I don't know if I've ever really witnessed or I've certainly never planned a prank that I think went well.
I don't do pranks.
Yeah,
I don't think they're funny.
I think I outgrew them when I realized like they never work like you plan, and they're just not worth it. And I hate receiving them. So yeah, why would I do that to somebody? I think the best prank I've ever witnessed is in the Jackass movie, where they hide in the trees and do the air horn on people during their golf swings. Final answer. That's my favorite prank because like, no one really gets hurt. It's minorly annoying. And I don't think that golfing is that.
There's no good golfers, so you're not like hurting good people.
I was like, if you can't laugh at yourself while playing a game that kind of celebrates just excess to that degree, then
it's like that logic problem. Not all golfers are bad, but all golfers are bad. Right? That's how you word those. I didn't take the SAT, so I don't know. But yeah, we were actually the victims.
It'd be like something, it'd be like not all men are golfers, but all golfers are men. would be like one way to. I mean, that's not true.
No, I was just trying to say how all golfers are bad.
Not all bad people are golfers, but all golfers are bad. That's what you're going for.
There we go. But we were the victims of a prank once during the pandemic.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And it was like full on like this rancid. He's probably in jail at this point, or going to be.
If you end up finding this on the internet, please don't drag it up, don't send it to us. Whatever.
It should have been scrubbed because we like threatened a lawsuit.
I requested, I did a thing through Google to have it taken down.
It was taken down. But yeah, during the pandemic, so height of the pandemic in Los Angeles, this rancid YouTube pranker tried to set us up for a prank where he walked up to us while we were loading groceries into our car and asked if he could paint the tires of our car. And he had this like obviously fake like Italian accent, and it was weird.
He's
and
like, I painted your tires.
I painted your tires. And did he have paint?
He had a
bucket of paint.
He had
like
an
a house
open bucket
paint,
of like
red
blue,
paint.
No, blue house paint.
Okay.
And it was just like,
yeah, he's like, I painted your tires. And we were like, no thanks. Wearing masks, height of the pandemic. He wasn't wearing a mask.
If anything, we were like full-on rule followers at the time, because it was early in the pandemic, and at this point we still didn't really know anything, and so we were just at least taking all precautions, because why wouldn't you?
And we were like,
masks 6 feet, and this guy was like in our face with no mask, which we were already weirded out about. Like,
yeah, and I just having lived in major cities the majority of my life, like the way I deal with crazy people is I just shut it down as firmly and politely as possible. Like, I don't talk to them. I don't give them an option. I just say, no, thank you, not interested. Like, I don't wait to hear other words. And, you know, I'm 6'7". I can do that with my presence. I can just be like, nope, we're good. Thanks, though. And he would not stop. And we were like, go away now. And he wouldn't stop. And I was like...
And he got really close to my side of the car.
We kind of felt when it was happening that it was a prank, because it was beyond just like crazy hobo guy. We lived
like in LA.
Weird.
Like, we know what LA is.
And crazies usually walk away.
Yeah.
Like, crazies usually give up. This guy was like, no, I'll just go ahead and paint them. And we were like, get the fuck away from our car. Like, eventually we started screaming.
I literally like had to do like Rob yelling voice, which I don't like doing.
But we were like, get the fuck away from us. Go the fuck away.
Yeah, I literally was just like, get the fuck away right now.
Yeah.
Like, I had to like lay it out.
Yeah, and I think he was like, obviously that's what he wanted in his pranks, but also like I think he wanted to get punched. He was one of those that like wants to get hit.
Yeah.
And it was because he got so close to us that I was like, this is self-defense. I could easily defend myself. But finally, like, he gave up, and then months went by, and a follower of mine on Instagram was like, I think you're in a prank video on YouTube, and we got it.
Because I'd looked for a while to sort of see if anything had popped up, and then we found him on TikTok, but we hadn't seen a video
Yeah.
that like our video, and we found, and yeah, someone sent it to us on YouTube, and I was like able to flag the time code and be like, hey, this is me. I did not consent to being in this. And luckily, I think he had to either upload it with us removed or like just take it down entirely.
And it was awful. And like we had watched him do it to other people, and it was never funny. It was a bad prank. It scared people. Like it was just awful. It wasn't. And he called himself a comedian. He was not funny in the slightest.
And there are times to do that, and maybe the time when people are literally afraid of physical contact with people, not the time to like kind of crowd their shit and spout nonsense, because like first off, you're still trying to process just what weird interaction this is. And still, I mean, but at least at the time we were just generally worried about our safety. Just like we were staying 6 feet away from people in stores. We were not going places that were busy.
We were wearing masks outside.
Yeah.
We were wearing masks in a parking lot.
Like seriously, this was the beginning of the pandemic. We were adhering to like,
I want to say it was like May.
Yeah, like, but we were adhering to all guidelines and suggestions because we wanted to at least protect ourselves as much as we could.
Yeah. Ugh. And I just hate pranks so much.
Yeah,
Makes my skin crawl.
It's awful.
It's just not. There's just nothing good about pranks. So. And again, I think it's because I have older brothers that pranked the shit out of me growing up. And I was bullied in high school and stuff. People pranked me all the time in high school. Someone made me sit in ketchup. Like, it was bad. I hate pranks. They're not funny. It's just bullying.
Like, I do love videos of people falling down and stuff. But yeah, those aren't pranks.
I love fail videos, but not pranks.
Like, I hate to say, I will laugh at people's misfortune, but usually when there's like no one at fault.
Yeah.
Like, someone falling down the stairs, it's funny. I will chuckle.
Also,
I'll try to help them up. But
I hate
laugh.
being scared. I've almost punched Rob several times in our life together.
Oh my God.
He will just walk into a room and scare me by his presence, and I'll react. Don't scare me.
The funniest is like I'll literally be outside of this room where I have a station set up where I clean records and stuff, and I'll be standing there cleaning a record, and he'll walk out and go, ah! Like, I'm like, I was here. You opened the door and I was part of the room. Like,
Rob has scared me by not moving several times. Like, he will say, be standing in front of the sink doing a dish or something, and then something will change and I'll turn around and he's still there, but his presence still being there scares me. It's like, I always say I start, but you do get mad at me when I get scared. I'm like, I can't control gasping. I know, but I'm just gonna gasp. It's not my fault.
It's like one of those things of like, when you're in the car and a car comes kind of close to you, but it's not gonna hit you, and like you're okay with it, but then all of a sudden your passenger gasps and it scares you more than the car did. Like, it's just one of those things of like, I was
it's
prepared.
Almost like someone saying, "Oh God," really loud.
Well, hey, that's because I'm always worried that like Ruby's gonna kill a bunny, and whenever I see.
When anything happens quickly, you go, "Oh God!" really loud, and only one tone.
That's just that's the reaction.
I don't know if it's a funny "Oh God" or a scary "Oh God."
Well, I'd be willing to bet that if somebody pulls a gun on me, I'm probably going to climb up and not say anything. Just knowing me, you've seen me. I freeze up.
You're supposed to protect me, Robert. You're my knight in shining army. Army? No, you're my knight in shining armor.
There you go.
Protect me.
Well, I mean, I am mean, but I don't.
All right.
It's going to be a situation where I'm not caught off guard with a threat. They're going to have to like warm me up, like threatening to paint my tires. Then,
yeah.
Then it works.
All right, then. Well, that's our stance on pranks.
Yeah. If
anybody out there is like, whoa, I can't wait to prank Todd, I will go to jail. So, and you will probably lose your life. So don't even try it.
The way you are with pranks is like me with Risk. I don't have to win, but once I decide you're going to lose, I'm taking you down with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't care who wins as long as it isn't you.
Death to all of them.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Next week's episode, I'm working on it right now. I think I will have a special guest. Rob won't be here, and I will have a very special guest on the show. She's a very amazing TikToker who I love very much, and I think it'll be my first over the internet guest. So we shall see if it works, if I can figure out the technology. But
shouldn't have made the promise until it happened.
I didn't. I said I'm working on it.
Okay, fine. Sorry.
But Rob, just be prepared to fill in case it doesn't work out.
Well, I live here.
Yeah, I'll find you.
I'm kind of available sometimes.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff.
Oh,
and remember, Wednesdays on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, and Sundays on TikTok. All right.
When we have episodes. Almost always.
And if we miss an episode, could somebody check on us, please? It would make me feel a lot better.
I mean, you do post on other things, so at least there are signs of life, unless you've just scheduled your stuff. Oh my God, you're like that Joan Rivers tweet. about her brand
after
new
she died.
phone after she died.
All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.